continue more as we go on in the podcast.
Okay. Why is there so much hate? Like, I don't know. Hatred, maybe not hatred. There's a lot of red pill rage in your audience.
Yeah, that's a good question too. Well, a lot of guys feel like they've been lied to, and they have. They grow up, they watch the Disney movies, and once again, I know it gets a lot of people offended, but the simple fact of the matter is that a lot of these guys, they're raised by single moms at home, they're raised by women in the classrooms, and so that's really the only perspective that they ever get about the world. And then, of course, eventually they get out there in the real world and, nothing works, especially when they're, trying to date women or whatever they're doing. The girls don't hook up with them or, they do the nice guy act, whatever. And then they wonder why none of it works. A lot of them end up getting fed into family law, which is a sexist system in itself that biasly rewards women. So yeah, I mean, no one ever tells them about these things, and then they get taken for a ride and they get burnt out. Now, am I saying that's an excuse to hate all women or go out and do something stupid? No, of course not. I'm saying to be aware of all of this, be aware of feminism and how it operates on a societal level, how virtually all of society, especially the West, but even globally now, there is a very insidious level of societal conditioning that has been built into the culture, into people's daily lives, and that you're going to need to be aware of this if you're navigating the world as a man. There's no escaping it. Like, it is what it is. Getting back to the hypocrisies of feminism, everyone wants to simp for women today and say whether they actually deserve it or not. Oh, girlfriend, you deserve so much better, blah, blah, blah. Must be something wrong with him, never with you. And, this is my point. I know it's easy to laugh about it. And, you talk to a lot of women about this and they laugh it off, play it off. I'm sure all of us have those chicks that are on our DM list or whatever. You try to talk to them about stuff like this that actually matters, and the only the brightest thing they have to say about it is some stupid text. They'll say, oh, ha ha ha, or something like that. Yeah, it's I agree, it's pretty pathetic. It's not funny. It would be funny if it weren't so pathetic, but yeah, like, that's the attitude. They just kind of like just shirk it off, like, oh, whatever, it's not a big deal, this and that. And once again, those are women that, let them do whatever they're going to do. They're idiots. Like, they really are. They're stupid bitches, and you don't need to worry about them. But getting back to what I was telling you before, I mean, the reality is men are treated like shit in the nation that their grandfathers built legally and systematically throughout all 50 states. And that's another reason why I don't listen to all these influencers that are out there now, saying how red pill is evil and leads people nowhere. There's a lot of channels that are popping up now, and you'll find it if you search them on YouTube. It'll be these guys, mainly men, which is interesting. I haven't really seen any women doing this. It's mainly men who are getting up there and they're trying to tell people, red pill, let me explain to you what red pill really is and why it gets people nowhere. Meanwhile, you never see any of these guys with chicks. Who knows if they even get laid or whatever. They act like there's no validity whatsoever to any of this, and they always try to discredit the value in pursuing it. I mean, with all the scandals that are popping up now with, like, the Fed and Shit podcast, it was confirmed that they were FBI narcs. For all I know, these influencers that are out there trying to discredit all these different men's rights movements, for all I know, they're fucking narcs, working for the government, trying, in this last act of desperation to divert men's attention away from stuff that really works. So I don't listen to these influencers when I see this stuff and, trying to divert men away from something that might actually help them, act in their own best interests as men. Because like I've said, like when you have a system of indoctrination like this working on a global scale, there is literally nothing else. It means that there's literally nothing else for men who actually want some kind of a different answer on how to live their lives and how to get the results they want. And there's certainly nothing else for women either when, feminism is basically the religion of modern women. I mean, half these chicks that are out there today, it's not even like a lot of them are pursuing some secular thing like Buddhism that they used to, just to be a cool kid and have a yoga mat or something, regardless of whether they actually study Eastern religious systems or anything like that. And they're sure as hell not Christians. It's feminism. Feminism is the religion of modern women. So, all these people out there trying to act like, Red Pill or the Manosphere or these other groups are evil. I'm telling you right now, those are literally the only people that are actually trying to help men and women in this country and worldwide. And a lot of these other systems just don't deliver on the goods. They can't put their money where their mouth is. And in one of the upcoming podcasts, I'm going to talk a little bit more too about Bobby Lloyd. I was affiliated with Teen Challenge International years ago, and it's a nonprofit organization. It's a Christian, supposedly a Christian outreach program. And I did some work with them, and I noticed how even these Christian denominations are now really infected with feminism and all these other ideologies. Bobby Lloyd, for those that don't know, Bobby Lloyd was a close friend of Frank Lucas. The movie American Gangster with Denzel Washington is based on it. Bobby Lloyd was a close friend of Frank Lucas, and Bobby Lloyd ended up getting out of the drug trade in Harlem years ago. He walked away from Frank Lucas and he ended up becoming a Christian. And now he is partnered with Teen Challenge International, and he does their outreach stuff with them and all this other stuff. And I met him, and I saw him do a couple speeches, and I spoke with him. And I'm telling you right now, even, so-called men in these Christian denominations, they're beta males. They're the same as the culture that they pretend to be fighting against and that they LARP and live action role play about. He was a huge simp for women, but particularly single mothers. I remember he did a speech and we were listening to him talk, and someone in the audience had asked about like female infidelity and how men should approach that. And this guy's answer to that was, well, who are you to judge the choices that women make and this and that, basically promoting, once again, this feminist agenda that states that if a woman has a digital footprint, that is undesirable from her past, or she is not a virgin or something like that. Like men are just supposed to, men who might not otherwise be interested in them, it's men's job to just turn a blind eye to that and accept them for who they are. Meanwhile, like it's just like a complete scam, obviously, for men. And this is my problem now with these church denominations too. They have this whole man up, wife up campaign that is basically trying to push single mothers off on men who, a lot of them just want to have either a virgin or just some woman who doesn't already have kids to have a family with. And the fact that these churches are trying to guilt trip and shame these men into wifing up these women is yet just another example of feminism at work. And I realize that there's people that don't see it that way, and I know there's people that want to say, they'll rationalize it every way that they can. But I'm telling you right now, I was with that ministry. I saw the stuff that they did, and just like a lot of the rest of the culture, they try to dress this whole act up like it's for women's empowerment. And the really sick thing about Teen Challenge International is they masquerade behind these supposedly, men and women of God. They masquerade behind that whole propaganda. And the whole point of it is they try to get these men to marry the single mothers, because by them doing that, they can give a great public image out there for their marketing campaigns, basically, and say, oh, see, this is this is the power of God to change people's lives and restore families and all this other stuff. It's like, these people are fabricating so many lies and misleading so many other people that it's truly disgusting. And there's a lot of people, once again, they get mad at me for speaking out against ministries like that and other groups. But I'm telling you right now, I don't have any respect, whether they're Christians or atheists or anybody. I don't have any respect for people who are not willing to advocate for men, to act like men. Our forefathers are rolling in their graves right now, and that's something people can think about this 4th of July when they're getting drunk and watching the fireworks and all this other stuff. Our forefathers are rolling in their graves, and honestly, this feminist shit show that we call America right now, I don't think this is what any of the forefathers had in mind or what they were willing to die for. And honestly, my dad passed away last year. He used to, he was a war veteran, and, he would get upset with me, and understandably so. But, at times when I would talk about this country and all this other stuff, he would get mad because he was a serviceman, and he didn't, he would get mad that I had certain views the way that I did. But like I explained to him, I'm like, I don't think this is what you were willing to fight and die for. And honestly, I'm embarrassed. Like, I am really, truly ashamed and embarrassed to call this my country when you have entire generations of men, if you can even call them that anymore, raised exclusively by women, no more positive masculine influences. The positive masculine influences that are there, they're silenced, they're mocked, they're shamed, they're, false allegations are thrown at them. Look at Dave Chappelle, look at Andrew Tate, men who actually try to help boys and men to better themselves, to do what's best for them, regardless of what all these stupid fucking women think, regardless of what feminism says that they should do. Men who use their talents to give back to their communities, to try to build a stronger generation. They hate it. They can't stand it. That's why they're canceling all these people, and honestly, stuff like that, like, I am really ashamed to call this my country, and it is what it is. That doesn't mean that I'm a domestic terrorist. That doesn't mean that I'm, going to take the law into my own hands or anything like that. But I'm just saying, like, I see these systems of control for what they are. And until they improve and I actually see men acting like men and women acting like women, that's never going to change for me. So, it is what it is. People can believe whatever they want.
Oh, I completely agree with that.
I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss, see. I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Stroke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact. Cause I'm my own worst enemy, only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, I'll always manifest it. If I listen carefully, I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed